At 53, I wrote a $4 million sales letter, 2 pages, zero copywriting experience. The secret wasn't working harder. It was understanding why successful women feel like failures, even when they're crushing it. Your brain has two hidden systems sabotaging your confidence right now. And I'm about to show you exactly how to flip them, plus give you my free protocol that stops the never enough spiral in 5 minutes. That never enough feeling, it's not a character flaw. It's your brain doing exactly what it's designed to do. And it actually thinks it's protecting you. First, there's your reticular activating system, what I like to call RAZ. This is a real system in your brainstem that acts like a filter. It constantly scans for evidence that matches what you already believe. If your belief is, I'm behind or I'm not doing enough, RAZ will make sure you notice proof of that everywhere. Your competitor's success suddenly becomes evidence that you're failing. Another woman's breakthrough feels like proof you're falling behind. RAZ doesn't judge, it just matches your focus. And that's when you enter into what I call the turbulation zone. I get to make up words because I'm a copywriter, right? Or TAZ for short. Now, TAZ is my name for the mix of brain systems that create chaos when you're about to level up. The amygdala, conflict monitors, and even your self-talk network kick in. Together, they stir up turbulence because the brain doesn't like change, even positive change. So the moment you start believing something bigger is possible, TAZ rushes in with panic strategies. Post on 5 more platforms, launch 3 more programs, work harder, faster, more. Ever feel like that? I learned this the hard way. Even after my first $500,000 year, I felt like I wasn't doing enough. RAZ kept showing me other copywriters who looked more visible. TAZ had me convinced I needed to be everywhere and do everything. The irony is that the harder I pushed, the further behind I felt. And here's why I name these systems. Because once you can name it, you can notice it. And once you notice it, you can change it. Instead of being swept up in the chaos, you start saying, oh, that's just RAZ doing its job. Oh, and there's TAZ trying to keep me safe. Naming it takes its power away. You might even want to say, thanks, guys, but I'm good. 3 months before that breakthrough, I was sitting outdoors on our beautiful Tucson property. We have this unobstructed view of the mountains. It was at the end of another, and I will say another, 10-hour day, realizing I had not even looked at that gorgeous view in days. And when I realized that, the tears just came. They started streaming down my face. I had achieved everything I thought I wanted, but somehow I felt emptier than ever. That's when I realized that my problem wasn't my circumstances, it was my brain's programming. Your brain is like a mirror. It can only reflect back what you're already believing about yourself. This isn't philosophy, this is neuroscience. Your beliefs literally shape your neural pathways, and those pathways determine what you notice, what opportunities you see, and what actions you take. Most people get this backwards. They think they need to change their circumstances first when everything is all ready to go and all perfect. Then they'll believe they're successful. But your brain works the opposite way. You shift the internal beliefs first. Then your brain mirrors and reflects that new reality back to you. When I decided to become a copywriter at 53 with no experience, I wasn't changing my circumstances first. I didn't say I need 5 years to learn copywriting. I was changing my neural pathways. I decided I was a successful copywriter before I had any evidence whatsoever. I didn't even have a resume because, frankly, I just wasn't suited to traditional jobs. In fact, the last traditional job I'd had, I was labeled as a troublemaker. Yeah, let's hear it for good trouble, right? Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's imagined and what's real. And when you consistently see yourself as the woman who has what you want, your brain starts to build those neural pathways to match that identity. That 2-page letter, it scared my client because of the huge response it generated. They weren't expecting that. I wrote it from this new identity, not from any credentials. Have you heard the term little hinges swing big doors? Well, it's just like that. Small actions from the right identity create massive results. That flipped everything I thought I knew about success. After years of hustle mentality, I discovered something counterintuitive. Yeah, the more frantically you chase success, the more it runs away from you. Ever tried to call a dog back and chase it? Guess what it does? Runs the other way. When you're in constant motion, constantly reacting, your brain stays in survival mode. In survival mode, your prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for creative problem solving and strategic thinking, goes offline. You literally cannot access your highest intelligence when you're in panic mode. But when you slow down, something magical happens. Your nervous system regulates. Your prefrontal cortex comes back online. Suddenly, you start receiving breakthrough ideas that seem to come from nowhere, but they change everything. My mentor once said something that stopped me cold. He said, Tina, what if your mission is calling you, but you're too busy to hear it? That's when I learned to distinguish between aligned action and frantic action. Aligned action feels effortless, even when challenging. It flows from clarity, not fear. Frantic action feels hard. It's forced. It's like pushing a boulder up a hill. The neuroscience backs this up. When you're aligned with your true mission, your brain releases different neurotransmitters. Dopamine increases, giving you natural motivation. Serotonin stabilizes, making you feel grounded and confident. Now, every woman has what I call your divine assignment, a unique combination of what only you can do. And accessing this isn't just spiritual bypassing, it's using parts of your brain that most people never tap into. When you learn to quiet the noise, the TAZ turbulence, the RAZ comparisons, you can access deeper intelligence. It shows up as intuition, as knowing without knowing how you know, as ideas that download directly into your consciousness. This is what happened with that $4 million letter I wrote. I had no experience in this, but I tapped into something deeper. My client later said, you wrote things I never told you, but they were exactly what needed to be said. The key is learning to distinguish between your ego's voice and your inner wisdom. Your ego sounds like frantic, fearful, comparative kinds of thinking, and your inner wisdom sounds calm, clear, and certain. It doesn't argue or justify. It simply knows. So how do you actually rewire decades of conditioning? Well, 3 steps. Step 1, retrain RAZ. Instead of looking for evidence you're behind, train RAZ to look for evidence you're exactly where you need to be. Every small win, every sign of progress, every moment of clarity, celebrate it. You're literally rewiring your brain to notice abundance instead of lack. Step 2, calm TAZ through sacred pausing. When you feel the urge to frantically do more, pause, breathe. Ask, is this aligned action or fear-based action? TAZ hates this because it interrupts the chaos pattern, but your prefrontal cortex loves it. Step 3, create mirror moments. Daily practices where you consciously choose what you want your brain's mirror to reflect back. You don't wait for evidence to believe you're successful. You practice being the version of yourself who already has what you want. This actually gets easier with age, not harder. I have less tolerance for activities that don't align with my mission. That clarity is a superpower that younger women often don't have. Now let's address the elephant in the room. Maybe you're thinking, well, this sounds great, Tina, but I'm already past 50. Isn't it too late for me? No. Neuroplasticity doesn't have an expiration date. Your brain's ability to form new neural pathways actually improves with certain types of wisdom and experience. What changes isn't your capacity for growth, but your willingness to tolerate what no longer serves you. At this stage, you have emotional intelligence, pattern recognition, and what researchers call crystallized intelligence. Kind of like a diamond, right? Accumulated wisdom from decades of experience. Your brain may process differently than at 25, processes more wisely. Look, you have already survived and thrived through challenges that would have broken your younger self. That resilience is encoded in your neural pathways. The women who transform their lives after 50 aren't the ones with the fewest challenges. They're the ones who finally stop arguing with their worthiness and start partnering with their wisdom. Your brain is designed to create reality, not just react to it, but to create it. The feeling of not doing enough isn't evidence that you're failing. It's evidence that you're ready to level up. I've created a free brain reset protocol that takes 5 minutes and stops the never enough spiral immediately. It's the exact process I used before writing that 2-page, $4 million letter. Small but mighty, just like you. Grab it in the description below. And subscribe for daily neuroscience insights that turn your brain into your biggest business asset. Remember, it's never too late to become who you're meant to be, and your brain is waiting for new instructions. Thanks for being here today. Until next time, bye for now.